Hello again, everybody. I'm your host, Felipe, and with me, as always, actually, no, I have a new co-host for the week. It's my buddy, Jacob Moses.
Sir.
Jacob, I didn't even introduce our podcast, the one that we're doing right now. This is the Total Bases Podcast. This is a baseball podcast. We talk baseball and baseball accessories, swing for the fences there, Jacob. Jacob is a special guest as Austin is on vacation. Jacob, you have a podcast of your own. Go ahead and plug that one in.
So it's in basketball life. It's a step back with myself, and my guy, Leon Tompkins. We'll hopefully be on Monday. We'll discuss all the COVID happenings, everyone and their mama being out, Kyrie coming back to play part-time, Knicks doing crappy, the Bulls getting smacked with COVID. Just, it's wild, man. Hopefully we don't get back to the bubble, but definitely Monday we're going to be looking into going there.
Luka versus Rick Carlisle, maybe?
Oh, Lord. We're going to get into that one. Like I said, we bring the smoke. I mean, we got action. It's going to be a lot coming, but come Monday, we'll be ready.
I'm just saying, everybody was quick to point to Luka Doncic as being the problem, but it turns out that he wasn't the problem. He was the solution all along. Gun smoke. Man, that shit is catchy as hell. I've been using that for everything. Like you said, you're not even using it right. I don't care. It's so... I like using it.
It is. It's cool, though. You catch a little zinger, you clack, gun smoke.
Well, that's my favorite part of the... Actually, no, gun smoke.
I got a shirt for that, too. That's another one's going to be coming.
Oh, I can't wait.
Oh, it's going to be good.
We need to start doing that. What would the Total Bases shirt be? Let's see. All we did, last year was easy because all we did was talk about Josh Stoutmont, the Kansas City relief pitcher. In 2021, when Sean was around for a while, all we did was argue about Nick Madrigal. So
I remember that.
So I don't know. Maybe I might do something with Slappy. I'll just get a T-shirt that says Slappy, and it'll just be a baseball going up the middle.
That would be awesome.
Grounding into shortstop.
I would so buy that. I'm telling you, we all should have our freaking signature shirts every show. Everybody got a signature saying.
Yeah. I listen to a wrestling podcast, and it seems like all they do is just come up with T-shirt ideas. Oh, that's a T-shirt idea. I think one of them was the right to arm bars, or to bar arms instead of bare arms, bar arms, because wrestling terms, MMA terms,
Oh man.
But anyway, we are here to talk. Jacob was so nice enough to join me this morning and to talk about the CBS Sports Fantasy Baseball. And the recap was written by Scott White. Like I mentioned last year, this is a guy I respect and I enjoy listening to and talking about his work, I should say. So he's going to go ahead and do the recap of the CBS Sports head-to-head points league mock draft. Last year I did this by myself, and it was a rotisserie league, a 5x5 rotisserie league, traditional roto. This year it's a points league, so I don't know. I wasn't interested to see what points that they were using, but obviously, I mean, it's a typical points league. 7 points for wins, maybe 10 points for wins, 4 points for home runs, 2 points for doubles, 3 points for triples, so on and so forth. So he wrote something about it over at CBS Sports. So we're basically just gonna do, I haven't seen the list. All I know is that Juan Soto is the number one person that was picked in this draft. So it's gonna be a lot of initial reactions to the picks here. And here are the combatants who took part of this mock draft. Micah Henry, I guess he got the first pick. Scott White, Jake Weiner or Wiener?
Yeah, I'm going Wiener.
All right. Well, I guess I just pointed out Micah Henry is from the New Life Fantasy. I don't know if that's a podcast or website. Scott White, I know he's from CBS Sports. Jack Wiener. That's let's call him Weiner. I think
Weiner, yeah.
Jake Weiner. I think that's a little more professional. So he's from a website called Prospects 1500. I'm assuming it's a website. Chris Mitchell from Fantasy Data. John Russell from that's the Great Fantasy Baseball Invitational participant. So Phil Pomshek. Something called Patton and Company, Frank Stample, CBS Sports. So Frank Stample,
who that is?
Well, he was a guy I kept making fun of on his picks because I forget. now that I went and re-listened, I know that his name came up a lot because I was kind of mocking his mock draft a lot. So let's see if he does a little bit better this year. RJ White, there's a name from last year's list as well, also from CBS Sports. Nick Mimikos from Stack Attack Podcast. Nathan Judah from Express and Star. Raymond Atherton, just from Raymond Atherton, I guess. And Dan Gilbert of the Fantasy Fisticuffs Podcast. So there it is. In all its glory.
All right.
Round by round and team by team. And this is who they did in the first round. Let's make this a little bit bigger for the people out there to see this better. I went a little bit too far. Yeah. So I don't know if I like that. 1 through 6 picks. That's fine.
Yeah.
So Juan Soto, number 1, man. What do you think about that? Are you shocked about that?
Nah, this is like a slam dunk pick, honestly. His walk to strikeout ratio is crazy, and the numbers that he's gonna put up he's a superstar. You know, he'll get you 30 home runs if he's on 30, 35. Because I think he could steal more if he really wanted to, but he gets on base. He does everything on the diamond, man. He's amazing. But yeah, they definitely got it right. As a national, hate him, but can't hate his game. Juan Soto, he's the man. That's a slam dunk pick for me.
Now, this I'm kind of shocked to see the first few names because last year the top 5 or 6 picks was littered with outfielders. Mike Trout, Ronald Acuna, all those guys. Christian Yelich, I think, was still a top 5 pick. And now it's Juan Soto and then a bunch of infielders before we get to Bryce Harper, the MVP from last year. And then Garrett Cole was the number 1 pick last year. Now he's number 7 to Frank Stample. So I know it's a points league, but I'm kind of shocked that Juan Soto, the guy who only stole 9 bases last year, although his steamer projections have him at 11 stolen bases, is going number 1. But that just goes to show you the different dynamic of points league versus head-to-head. Points leagues, head-to-head points leagues against roto leagues. Roto leagues emphasize stolen bases a little bit more. So you mentioned stolen bases. You wish you could steal more bases. But obviously that's not going to deter you from, if you got the number 1 pick, you're going to get Juan Soto every time is what I'm hearing.
Easy.
Yeah. You're not considering Vlad Guerrero or Trey Turner or Fernando Tatis.
Trey Turner, he will definitely make me think because his speed, obviously elite. So, and I like guys that can actually get on base and steal. I mean, it just creates runs, does everything for your team. You're that table setter, excuse me. And yeah, Trey Turner would definitely make me think, especially the year he had last year, how he played for the Dodgers. It'll make you think, but Juan Soto, it's easy for me.
All right. Well, I only asked because that's you mentioned Trey Turner. Okay, so Trey Turner in a rotisserie league, right? Traditional 5x5 where stolen bases are a little bit more emphasis. It sounds like you would go Trey Turner number 1 and then Juan Soto number 2. Is that what I'm thinking? Is that what you're gathering here?
Yeah, because I've had stolen bases are pretty big, like you said, in the roto league. So you would go to Trey Turner. Plus, he can, get a hold of the ball. He could be I'll say 30, 40 guy.
Ooh.
That's if the manager lets him go, because sometimes, especially with his injury history, you don't know what kind of green light he's going to get.
Yeah.
But, yeah, in the alternate world, I can see that. In the Roto League, yeah, I can see Trey Turner.
Now, I don't know what he did with the Dodgers. I know the Dodgers are a little bit I feel like they're a little bit more restrictive when it comes to stolen bases.
That is true.
I don't know. I don't know if that's a real facts. Oh, wait, I can actually see the partial season. So with the Nationals, he stole 21 bases, and with the Dodgers, he stole 11, but in 52 games. So
when you do that,
the Dodgers. Hi, hello again, everybody from Chavez Ravine. It's Vin Scully. Well, 11 stolen bases in 52 games. What is that like? I guess it's not bad. That's like, I guess if you were to play a whole season, that's close to 30, 40 stolen bases right there. So maybe the Dodgers know they're going to let him go and he's going to produce. So yeah. All right. Well, it's a slam dunk no matter what. Vlad Guerrero, number 2. I have him on my head-to-head categories league. I'm sure in a points league, he's even more valuable because he's just a source of massive power. But those are like the slam dunks. Again, it's just I wanted to point out the top 5 goes Juan Soto, Vlad Guerrero, Trey Turner, Fernando Tatis, and Bryce Harper. So I swear last year this was littered with outfielders. And
Yep.
now it's like a mixed bag, not even a pitcher. But again, that was a 5x5 roto league as opposed to this head-to-head points league. Aside from that, I mean, in the first round, is there any name that kind of shocks you to see going so in this first round, in the first 12 picks here?
Al Tucker.
Where is he? Kyle Tucker? No,
I was round 2. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm looking at you. Wait.
This is Micah Henry. This is Micah Henry.
Okay, yeah, I'm looking. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, sorry about that.
First round, no, it's all good.
So yeah,
Soto. No, it's not. I don't see any shocks there.
Mike Trout going number 12 doesn't shock you, or
well,
doesn't make you think?
No, because everybody knows he's not. Is he really going to play a full season anymore? I mean, that's the only reason that he would drop that far. I mean, dude, best player in the game.
Yeah.
But how much you're going to get out of him? One dive and dude is out for half of the year. So I know it might irritate a lot of Angels fans, but let's be real. It's just like kind of Jacob DeGrom with me.
Yeah.
What are you going to get out of him? I mean, great pitcher, one of the best, if not the best pitcher in the league.
Mm-hmm.
But is his forearm going to act up? Is his shoulder going to act up? What's going to happen? But yeah, that's not shocking, actually.
So with Mike Trout, we were talking about this, like, okay, so his career is off to a great start, and people are saying, oh, he's a surefire Hall of Famer. I mean, the advanced metrics love this guy so much. He's a once in a generation player, just doesn't have any team success. But now, what is he now? He's entering 30. His age 30 season.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I brought it up maybe a season or 2 ago. Like, what's to stop you from guaranteeing this guy's spot in the Hall of Fame in Cooperstown? Because we've seen players get off to really good starts to their careers and then just fizzle out. Andrew Jones being one of those guys.
Yeah.
So how far is he from, like, if he becomes Andrew Jones, right? Like if he experiences that same career dip, do you still consider him a Hall of Fame player?
Yeah, because Andrew Jones is a Hall of Fame player.
Absolutely. There you go.
He's going. If he doesn't go, I will be shocked. And then I'll just say something the fuck is really wrong with that freaking ballot, because Andrew Jones in his prime is everything he did on the field. Dude hit 35 to 40 home runs, stole bases. His glove, like, come on. But yeah, definitely Trout will still be a Hall of Famer. If he even got there, 400 home runs, I think that's going to be the base for it now. Mm-hmm. At least if you get there, you're automatically going in. You know how you have that 3,000 strikeout threshold, Max Scherzer. He has the wins. His wins is getting up there, but he's not going to get to 300. But he has the 3,000 strikeout. CC, another one. No, he's going. But Jake might get there. But yeah, if Andrew Jones goes in, Trout is definitely going in.
And speaking of the Hall of Fame, we will have a Hall of Fame show. As of right now, it's still going to happen. Martin Luther King Day, all 3 of us, Dan Butler, Austin Spiro, and myself, we're off that day. So we're going to take advantage of that and do a podcast. We're going to talk about the Hall of Fame a week before the announcements are made as to which players from that Baseball Writers of America Association, whatever it's called, the BBWAA, I think it's the correct acronym, make their announcements the following week. So we're going to break it down, give you guys a chance. And we have a poll. Dan Butler was nice enough to create a poll on a Google Sheets form. Vote for the 10 guys you want to see. Now that is a little bit different because that is to induct the next batch of players into our Baseball Life Hall of Fame. Last year, you guys listening on the Baseball Life group over here on Facebook, you all voted for Kurt Schilling to be inducted, and that's it. That's the only player that was inducted last year into our Baseball Life Hall of Fame. So I hope you're all proud of yourselves.
Should be ashamed of yourselves. Jeez.
All right. Well, let's move on to the second round then. So Mike Trout is then Dan Gilbert follows up with Corbin Burns. And then there's Ronald Acuna, Mookie Betts, Aaron Judge, Brandon Woodruff, Shohei Ohtani in the second round at the 18th pick overall. What do you make of that? Ohtani, the MVP from last year, going that late in this draft.
That's fair.
But he won MVP though. I mean, we saw Bryce
So?
Harper. Bryce Harper was on the first round. Why can't Shohei Ohtani? I thought he was supposed to be the Babe Ruth.
Yeah, but Bryce Harper has done it his whole career. I mean, it's just you always got to go with what you've seen for years rather than what you've seen for like 2 years. Bryce Harper is Bryce Harper, dude.
Yeah.
He's won multiple MVPs. Am I wrong? I mean, he's won how many years? This is second?
I believe so. Yeah, I don't keep track, but it sounds right.
So he's definitely done it before. You know, Ohtani does it again this year. I'll give him props. Great player. What he's done is amazing, both sides, and you can't discount that. But Bryce Harper, I'll take him over Shohei.
All right. Yeah, I mean, that's like it says, Harper's the established name. Ohtani, I mean, he had a great season, but I think there's a little bit of concern with a 257 batting average, which, I mean, for him, that's pretty good. I know, because he had a really bad, kind of, I'm not going to say, too bad of a second half, but yeah, he kind of did, I mean, it was impossible to keep up with that first half pace that he did. But yeah, that second half was not too friendly to him, and he's striking out at nearly a 30% clip. Luckily, he does walk 15% of the time as well per plate appearance, so he does balance those strikeouts out. But it's getting dangerously close to that mark where he's like maybe Joey Gallo without the stolen bases and triples. So, So something to look out for, and he still has to deal with the stresses of pitching, and the Angels. It looks like they're gonna still go with a 6-man rotation, which, yeah, that's gonna mess up a lot of people. But who's that? Frank Stanfield going? Okay, so Shohei Ohtani going to Frank Stanfield's team. We get Zach Wheeler going to number 19, Byron Buxton, Rafael Devers, Freddie Freeman, Shane Bieber, and Kyle Tucker. Out of that second round list, let's go with the player you did not like here. What player on this in the next 12 picks did you not like being drafted in the second round?
Will I love Buxton? You're taking a shot. I mean, obviously you're looking at stolen bases with him, and his health. His health scares the hell out of me. I love Byron Buxton, but that health, man. Devers, he's good money. Freddie Freeman, how can you hate Freddie Freeman? Who does everything on the field. Bieber came back from an injury, so you're taking but he's still Cy Young guy, Cy Young candidate. Kyle Tucker, I've seen him on a lot of lists. He's definitely made some strides in Houston. If I had to pick one, yeah, he's good. I give him that. But if I'm gonna pick someone that I hate, it's just Buxton. I gotta go Buxton. I don't trust him, man. I really don't.
Yeah.
And I hate to say that, I really do, but his body of work.
So John Russell gets Bryce Harper and then follows up with Byron Buxton. So he's going outfield heavy. He's not gonna take any chances at outfield. So for those who don't remember, Byron Buxton, he had a heck of a season. Looks like he was having a breakout, and then he got injured. So aside from the 2020 season where only 60 games were played, Byron Buxton has failed to get into the triple-digit games in 2021, 2019, and 2018, and then again in 2016. And it's all the same thing. I mean, the guy plays hard, but he gets injured too easily. And he also comes with a really bad strikeout rate, walk to strikeout ratio as well. And last year it looked like he was putting things together. Like he was kind of making up for that by just putting the bat on the ball more often, it seems like. I mean, he was hitting 306 before he got hurt, and then we never saw him again.
Yeah, and that's all he really has to do with his speed. Just put the ball in play. I mean, things that happen when you have elite speed, man. It'll happen. But like I said, one dive or one overrun in the bag and he's down. I wouldn't have picked him that high. No way.
Let's see. Outside the strike zone contact rate was at 60%. That was a career high for him last year. Contact rate stayed the same, but the swinging strike percentage went down to 14.8. Well, that's right in line with his career. But no, most importantly was that he made more contact outside the strike zone, and that kind of made a little bit of the difference there. Otherwise, he's still an aggressive swinger. But like you mentioned, when he put with his speed, now I got to ask you, with all these injuries, I forgot what the injury was this time around. But with all these injuries, there's wear and tear happening. I mean, should we still consider his speed to be elite? As dumb as that sounds, I mean, it's natural. He's 28 years old. He'll be 29 actually. He just turned 28. My bad. He just turned. He's entering his 28th season, his age 28 season. I mean, are you concerned that all these injuries are going to start to pile up for next season?
With speed wise, when we're talking about going back to that, I don't think it'll go anywhere yet. Because you're seeing guys like Sterling Marte, dude is 33, 34, and his speed is still there. He stole 40 bases last year.
That's true.
So it can actually, I think his speed won't go anywhere for a while, but it's hard to break those injuries once you have them. It's something always going to be nagging.
Matt Nagy, what? It's a quick hello to Harry, Dean, and Corey Richmond, formerly of the Workshoot podcast and all that wrestling talk. Let's see here. Moving on to the third round. So thank you guys for joining us this morning. Appreciate it. On to the third round. Robbie Ray in the third round. And this was one from last year where I was kind of mocking whoever picked this guy. And it was in a double digit rounds too. I think it was round 13, round 14. Like Robbie Ray. Oh man. I mean, I always like Robbie Ray, but man, he just came with so many control issues. Like he couldn't keep his walks down. And then he put things together, and now he's going to the Seattle Mariners, a nice young up and coming team. Do you believe in Robbie Ray for next season?
Absolutely, especially in that part. He's getting out of the. Listen, you win a Cy Young in the AL East, man. That holds weight. And going to a better ballpark pitching wise for him, I think he'll do great. Especially the head that I'll say is going to be a relatively young staff, but I think that's going to be their Achilles heel. Actually, is their pitching besides Robbie Ray. But I think he'll do well in Seattle.
And I think
definitely.
And I think this is the first time. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so there were 4 starting pitchers that went in the second round, and now 5 starting pitchers are going in this third round. So we're now seeing these experts. I'm not going to use the word panic, but they are kind of having a sense of urgency that maybe I got to pick my pitcher right now, right here in this round. Robbie Ray, Julio Urias, Sandy Alcantara, Lucas Giolito, and Aaron Nola. So I got to ask you, of those 5 pitchers, I mean, that's a hell of a rotation there, but of those 5, who do you not trust there?
You said
Robbie Ray, Julio Urias, Sandy Alcantara, Lucas Giolito, and Aaron Nola.
That's solid, man.
I'm telling you.
That's really solid. That's tough. If I had to pick one, Urias.
Ooh, did not expect that.
I just no, the kid is good, but it's hard to go on this Nola. It's really Robbie Ray just came off of Cy Young.
Yeah,
man, that was really freaking tough.
Only the tough questions are asked here, man.
Wow, that was good. That was, oof. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Urias.
Anything in particular that you don't like? I mean, he won 20 games last season. He plays for a really good team with the Dodgers.
That's also, when you have an offense like that can score you runs, you're going to win a lot of games. I mean, hell, R.A. Dickey won Cy Young, but let's just say that, and won 20 games. So, but I don't know. He just seems combustible. It's just something like he'll look good. Like this is his 1 year, he looked really good, and then the next year it's going to go to shit, I think. But I could be wrong, but I'm going to pick that. I think he's just – I don't know how consistent he's going to be after this year.
Yeah. I mean,
this might have been his ceiling year.
Boy, I mean, if that's a ceiling year, boy, oh boy. We've been kind of waiting for this guy to blow up, and the Dodgers kind of needed him to be a bullpen guy and then put him back in the starting rotation, and back and forth they go. And we criticize the Dodgers for from a fantasy perspective for babying their starting pitchers too much. But from a real life perspective, they're doing the absolute smart thing here. But it is frustrating as a fantasy owner, especially when you've been waiting for Julio Urias to kind of blow up, and he finally does last year. And yeah, I guess compared to the other guys, he is the least established guy, but I guess he also comes with the most upside. I mean, then you still got Sandy Alcantara, which is, I mean,
I like him.
Yeah, right.
I really, especially that that guy has electric stuff,
Mhm.
and plus he's starting to put it together as well. I don't know. I'm going with Urias. I think
Uh,
Sandy Alcantara would have been like an easy pick, but you're just thinking about it, and it's his offense. Like I said, he pitched well, but the offense it helped a lot.
well, I was a Lucas Giolito owner. I think that's the guy I'm going to go with. It
Okay.
seemed because it took him forever to get to this elite status, and then last year was. I mean, it was. I mean, on paper, it looked pretty good. But if you were a Lucas Giolito owner like I was last season, you're kind of scratching your head like, what the hell happened last year? Why he wasn't as dominant? The strikeouts were down. The fastball velocity on average was down last year. ERA went up. So you're kind of just kind of scratching your head like, huh? So now what? What do I expect? The whip went up again to 110, which is good. But we were drafting this guy. I mean, he's being drafted in the third round, so obviously, who drafted him? Raymond Atherton thinks that there's going to be a bounce back year. So we'll see what happens. I mean, it's still a solid choice. I don't know if I would do it, put him as my anchor for my rotation, but I mean, then you got to ask yourself, okay, would you do it for Aaron Nola, Charlie Morton? I mean, the cupboard's getting bare here in terms of starting pitchers. So let's take a look at that. This is what we're doing. Kevin Gossman, which is a guy I like. Now, I don't know if I like him now with the Toronto Blue Jays.
No.
I mean, Lance Lynn, Logan Webb, Jose Berrios, Freddy Peralta, Chris Sale. So I guess a lot of these guys come with a lot of baggages of their own. So maybe if you are looking for that true ace pitcher, maybe you do go and snatch up Lucas Giolito before it's too late. Because compared to the other guys, he is the guy. He's probably the most established guy. But
Logan Webb was solid though.
Yeah, he's solid, but there's another one of those guys. He's unproven. You don't know if he can repeat what he did last year. I mean, I know this. I mean, this is a guy I've been keeping an eye on forever. I had him for a little bit, and I think I had to let him go because he got hurt, and then someone else snatched him. I think Shaw might have snatched him up, and that's why he won the championship, and I didn't. So, but yeah, he had a remarkable breakout year last year. I mean, helping the Giants top the Dodgers as well. So a pretty good year for him. But yeah, a lot of these starting pitchers in what's this, the fourth round, a lot of question marks. So I don't know, man. Maybe it's hard because starting pitching has been very frustrating to deal with and has been very, very perplexing and unpredictable. But if this mock draft is any indicator, I don't know if I want to wait until the fourth round to get my first starting pitcher. I mean, would you agree, or would you?
I agree.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, because a lot of these pitchers. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No. Go ahead. I'm looking at it.
I think Lance Lynn might be the one guy I might consider, and he might be better than Lucas Giolito on the same team there with the White Sox. But he's getting up there in age, and he looked kind of exhausted, by the end of the season. So I don't know if that's a COVID thing or if that's maybe pitching will make a bounce back next year and get all these guys their arm strength back because they've been dealing with the shortened season and then kind of having to recalibrate and play for 162 games, going every 5 games. I don't know. I just don't know what to make of it. I do like Jose Berrios. I just don't know if I want to trust him as being. If I want to spend fourth round capital on him, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So he might be considered, but then Chris Sale, Freddy Peralta. I mean, those are question marks in the fourth round. But let's take a look at the hitters. I mean, are the hitters any better? I mean, you got Austin Riley, Nolan Arenado. Those are two guys I am not looking to draft, especially Nolan Arenado. Sorry. Pete Alonso.
that one.
No. We in the Baseball Live Facebook group, we do enough of Nolan Arenado bashing I already explained myself last week. Actually, last week with Austin, I explained why I don't like Nolan Arenado. He's not been the same for a while now, and we're getting to a point where he's just living off his reputation. Now, there's always a possibility that he'll bounce back, right? Big bounce back in St. Louis. He'll get used to his surroundings as well, and he's on a really good team. So maybe that will make up for a lot of inconsistencies that he had last year. I mean, from a guy who had 30 plus home runs, how can you say that? And 100 plus RBI? What are you talking about? And listen to the episode from before last week, and I explained myself a little bit better there. Pete Alonso, maybe I consider, but I feel like I can get a first baseman at any time. But maybe that's what gets me in trouble all the time. It's like, first baseman, that's easy.
I'll wait.
Wait.
I would have went Alonso too. Not just me being a Met fan. I like my power.
Yeah.
want to have my 30, 35 home runs, maybe 40 plus the RBIs, obviously runs scored. But yeah, I definitely, of course, I'm going to like the Alonso pick.
Although, as soon as I say that, last year in the Fantrax in our fantasy baseball Jacob league over at the Fantrax website, the Baseball Like Fantasy Baseball League, I in the first 3 rounds of our keeper league, with the 3 keepers already established, I went with Vlad Guerrero and Anthony Rizzo in the first 3 rounds. So I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. I'm a hypocrite.
Did you go Rizzo? Really?
I did go Rizzo because sentimental reasons and
understandable.
Hey, I'll admit it. That's my homer pick. But I thought, hey, of all the players, this is the most established guy. This is the guy I can trust. And I wanted to go outside the box. I usually don't do that. Pick a lot of first basemen like that in the early and fill up my utility spot with Anthony Rizzo. But I wanted to do something different. I go, I've been doing it the opposite. It's like George Costanza on Seinfeld. Like, I'll be the opposite of what I've been doing my whole life, And it worked out for me a little bit, even though Rizzo didn't have a monster year. But anyway, that's another podcast for another time. Corey Seager, Xander Bogaerts. So I feel like maybe the hitters might be a little bit more of a surefire thing than the pitchers in the 4th round. So just really quick, give me one hitter and one pitcher that you like, and just, you don't have to explain. Just give me top of your head, gun to your head, which starting pitcher and hitter do you like in this 4th round?
4th round. I don't like Charlie Morton. I'm gonna go with. Let's see. I'm gonna go with Webb.
Ooh, okay.
I'm gonna bucket, and I'm gonna go with Alonso.
All right, that's fair. That's more than fair. I mean, the 4th round. This is the time where you make these big boy decisions. I mean, anybody can draft those first 3 rounds and call it a day. But yeah, now you get to the 4th and 5th round, and we should see more interesting names. Now, Dylan Cease is a very intriguing player. Now, that is a guy I've been trashing for a while now. But I think this third season coming in as a regular contributor to the White Sox in the rotation, this might be hopefully finally the year that he puts it together where he's like, well, if he doesn't make it as a starting pitcher, there's always the bullpen. Like, no. If you're the White Sox and you have a bullpen arm in Dylan Cease, you kind of shot yourself in the foot because you need this guy.
He's solid though.
He still has a little bit of command issues, I think. There's games where he looks unstoppable, and there's other games where he just gets lit up, and it's the same thing. His stuff is fantastic. It's just, can he command it? Can he make hitters swing at pitches that they don't want to swing at? And for the most part, all his peripherals numbers shows that he was able to do that. The walk rate is a little bit too high still at 3.69. I mean, if we're talking a guy with ace-like stuff, we want to see that number, that walk per 9 inning, a little bit lower, I think. I mean, maybe my standards are too high. Maybe I'm asking too much. But, it's about trusting guys, right? You got to, and the 1.25 whip. I mean, I was complaining about Lucas Giolito's 1.10 whip, and now here comes Cease with a 1.25 whip. So yeah, it's a game of inches. So it's something that he needs to work on if he wants to be a mid-tier starting pitcher to a elite level, because he has the stuff. He really does have the stuff. He has lightning stuff. And I keep using that word lightning stuff, but it's true. I mean, his pitches are when he's on, he's damn nearly unhittable, but that's the thing. Unfortunately, he does get hit. Let's see. And I'm just going to fact check myself. Is that really the case with him? Is he? So the hits per 9 innings should be, it's only 139 hits versus 165 innings. So, I mean, he did show some dominant stuff. So now he just has to put it together and keep those walks down. And then he could be a really nice steal from Micah Henry, who's, let's see, how's his team looking like? So he picked Freddy Peralta and Dylan Cease. Oh, okay. So whatever. But I mean, I like Freddy Peralta too, but I don't know what the Brewers are doing with them. The 6-man rotation, I'm not a fan of. Cease is still in a 5-man rotation. So anything else that I need to say about Dylan Cease here? Let me see. I'm looking to see. There's the plate discipline numbers. So yeah, he's inducing a little bit more swings. Contact rates are going down. So he's on the right path, but I mentioned on the show all the time, progress and development is not linear. It's not always linear. But with Cease, I feel like he is this so freaking close to becoming that dominant pitcher that the White Sox and fantasy leaguers need. Anybody else that catch your eye in this fifth round here, Jacob? Well, one thing I will mention is that Josh Hader, I think that is the first relief pitcher that has gone off the board here.
Yeah, wow. I see, that's the thing. I want my saves. I like that as well. Let's get your saves, and he's going to get strikeouts. That's what he does.
Yeah,
I like that pick, honestly.
Yeah, and for him, it's very important that he keeps that closer's role in Milwaukee, because the Brewers, as you know, are stacked in the bullpen. Every year they just find guys that they can plug in. Devin Williams, yeah, for sure. So as long in a points league, as long as Hader continues to have that closer's role, he should just be a points league god. But he's a little bit better in roto leagues because he'll help you with the ERA, the WHIP, and the strikeouts from the relief pitching standpoint. But yeah, if you take away the saves, and now you just have a whatever relief pitcher because he's left-handed, so the Brewers might be like, analytics suggest that he should be pitching in the 6th, 7th, 8th inning, not the 9th. So you're always worried about that. But as long as they keep him in the 9th, he's okay with me. Salvador Perez, I think he's the first catcher that has gone off the board as well.
Yep.
Oh, by the way, speaking of Dylan Cease, Melvin, his spider senses must be tingling because he goes, I come here and the first name I hear is Dylan Cease, and I guess that turned him off the show, so he's probably gone now. Sorry, Melvin, but these are things we have to talk about. But thanks for joining us this morning. Melvin does the Baseball Cosmos Facebook page, and he basically is our group's Caribbean League and Winter Leagues expert. So go check out his page and check out his content.
Absolutely.
So Salvador Perez, I don't know, man. Catcher is a very tricky position, and Austin and I, we talked about it last week on a show, and there's like a lot more prospects than I remember in the top 12. And Salvador Perez with the big monster year last year. I mean, I don't know, what are you? 5th round for Salvador Perez, is that too early, or is that just right?
I think that's fair.
I
think that's fair. If you're going to go catcher, you're going to go with the best one, and that's Salvador Perez.
Yeah.
If you're absolutely going to pick one, because catcher is one of the worst positions, as I know, in our fantasy league. I'm thinking Alfaro is going to do something, and he kept getting hurt, and it was just ridiculous. But Salvador Perez, that was the guy.
I warned you about Alfaro, man. I warned you about Alfaro.
You did. I mean, choice to have. But yeah, after that, you got to pick Perez if you were going to pick a catcher. Next one would be for me, Varsho, because he's going to be kind of a cheat. He's going to be kind of a cheat code this year because I think he has outfield eligibility.
Yeah.
So definitely, if you're going to go you're going to go there. You go Varsho or Perez, but Varsho you can wait a little bit. But Perez is a solid pick. You're going to get production out of him.
The thing I like about Perez is that he's going to be a designated hitter more often than not now. So that's going to give him more opportunities to be more productive, and also
saves his body.
Thank you, and continue to produce. And that's what we're looking for. Catchers who are not really catchers, and he's still a catcher, but he's gonna get some DH at bats, and that's what's important. Same thing with Varsho. I think the Diamondbacks like the idea of using him in the outfield. So as long as that's the case, and if he's still catcher eligible, that's what we're looking for. That's what we want. So this is Scott White's team that I'm highlighting. So he got Vlad Guerrero, Shane Bieber, Julio Urias, Chris Sale, and Salvador Perez. So he's going pitching heavy, and then he picks the catcher. So he needs to knock it out of the park. I mean, you guys can see the rest of his team right there, but we're gonna see if he can knock it out of the park, because he's dug himself into a hole there with the top 5 picks that he has, and it's a solid pitching team. I know Scott White's he deems himself a points league expert, which I believe he is. So that means if you're a points league expert and you have a kind of a strategy in the back of your head as to how to win these leagues, you're gonna go pitching heavy, because they can rack up the points in one game as opposed to waiting. That's assuming that you're playing in a weekly league like I do. One game is a major factor. One game, starting pitcher can get you 35 points as opposed to a hitter who might go on a slump and get you like 5 points or 10 points, and So anyway,
But
so
pitching can kill you though. Like
and bro,
they have
believe me.
bad games. Good grief, it's a wrap for you.
And then the other frustrating part was that when Sean and I were doing the weekly forecasting or whatever you call it, and looking to see, okay, which waiver wire fodder is available, who's gonna do the 2-start pitching. It wasn't as consistent or as existent as in years past. Like we noticed a lot of like guys showing up multiple times because baseball teams, they're constantly flipping the rotation and maneuvering the rotation for matchups and the bullpen games. Even the guys who are, oh, this guy's listed twice this upcoming week. Yeah, but it's a bullpen game. Do we want really 1 inning outings from these guys? No, we want the 5 innings and get you the win and the strikeouts. So it's getting more unpredictable. And hopefully that's COVID related, and keeping our fingers crossed that things get back to normal. But at this rate, I think we talked about it earlier on the show or before the show. It's not looking like it's getting back to normal anytime soon. So
no, it's not.
So let's go back to the 5th round. So let's see, other names, Cedric Mullins, and to finish out the round in the 5th round. He's becoming his stock has just got way skyrocketed.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, last year I had him as way past the top 100 outfielders. I think he was like ranked number 125. I always liked the kid, but he can't stay healthy, and the Orioles I don't know what the hell. Well, now it looks like the Orioles are on the right path now, but it's in years past. Every time I would get to the Orioles for my fantasy research, I'd be like, "Oh, not this team again." They just be so frustrating to deal with. But obviously, are you a Mullins believer now, or do you need to see more from him?
Oh no, absolutely. He's same thing as Buxton. If he can stay healthy, he's going to produce.
Yeah,
and I like him, man. He's going to get a shot. He's going to get the shot to shine. It's hard not to do that in Baltimore because they don't have a lot of talent besides Mountcastle, Mullins, maybe Santander. But yeah, he's going to get a shot. So I'm a believer in Mullins.
Yeah, and the Orioles always have talent, man. I mean, raw talent, I guess I should say.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, they always do, and it's just they can't. Something happens, and they can't put stuff together or whatever. I mean, Austin Hayes. How long have we been hearing about Austin Hayes now? Long time. And then they had another outfielder, DJ Stewart. That's another guy we've been hearing about for a long time.
Feel good story in Trey Mancini, though. I'd love to see that.
Yeah. So,
but their pitching is where it comes down to. They can't get it right when it comes to that.
Yeah, John Means. I think John Means got hurt last year, and he was their best pitcher. Aside from that, it's just a bucket of crap, unfortunately.
they had Matt Harvey.
Gun smoke. So yeah, we'll see how it goes for next year, but I wouldn't hold my breath. Who are their prospects? It's always with their Adley Rushman.
Rushman, yeah.
Grayson Rodriguez, DL Hall, but those are pitchers. So if they get to the Baltimore, will they self-implode? Because that is such a ballpark that's detrimental to pitching. Let's take a look at the 5th round again. Let's see the list here. Alex Bregman, Jose Altuve, Paul Goldschmidt, Luis Castillo. Oh, there's a name. Luis Castillo. I mean,
if he gets traded, I think he needs a fresh start somewhere else. Yeah, I think he does.
I'm a Luis Castillo believer. I'm a truther. I will follow him. Ain't no river low enough. Ain't no valley wide enough. I mess up the lyrics. I'm sorry. I always mess them up. But I will follow him into the dark until he proves otherwise. Because there are games last year where he's like, all right, he's back. He's got stuff figured out. And then he'll come back and give up 10 more runs. But all said, I mean, with all that said, I mean, he finished with a 3.98 ERA, which is a miracle because it looks like he was in for a really, really bad season. I mean, so we'll see if things get better for him next season. Let's see. I'm trying to look at the StatCast data and what the hell did they do to my? Well, come on, man. Hey, yeah. So I mean, it shows that nothing changed in terms of like how hitters were lining up against him. It seemed like everything else was normal. The only thing that went up was the ERAs, but I mean, for obvious reasons. So maybe we're dealing with a guy with just bad luck, as hard as
Bad
it
luck.
is.
Yeah, very bad luck.
Extremely bad luck. Yeah. All right. So that's and then Ryan Presley's the second relief pitcher that went into the second round. I don't know if I trust Ryan Presley that much, but Nick Mimikos does trust him enough. Who did he draft in the last round? Nick Mimikos. He drafted Nolan Arenado. So I really don't like his team. So whatever. World Series champion Max Fried with Merrifield, and that's not a bad fifth round. I think I like the fifth round picks better than the fourth round. It seems like.
Oh, it's like Whit
Merrifield, yeah. He's getting a little old. You're not concerned about that?
Nah, he's 31. Nah, that's not too bad.
Well, I mean, it's new Major League Baseball, man. The 31 is like the new 34 now. Don't you know that?
It's not football.
If it is for baseball terms, yeah. Like you and I, like I'm 38. I'd be 44 years old in baseball, in Major League Baseball terms right now. It's all about well, it's all about adjusting for league averages and all that stuff, right? That's what we talk about. To the sixth round we go. George Springer. Oh, and you Darvish. Now we're Trevor Bauer.
What? Man, you don't even know he's playing. What the hell is you doing?
I mean, now we're okay. So
stash picking.
Oh my Lord. So I mean,
what?
I don't even know where to begin. I mean, the first three names are just actually the first two names are shocking enough, and then you get to that third name, like whoa. But I thought maybe the fourth round it was kind of questionable. This sixth round is really blowing my mind. The other guys are Nick Castellanos, Teoscar Hernandez, Charlie Marte, who we just talked about, Justin Verlander.
Wow.
I mean, I don't know how to start this. Okay, so let's one piece at a time, right, Jacob? One piece at a time. Let's start with outfielder because George Springer is the first pick. So of this group, George Springer, Nick Castellanos, Teoscar Hernandez, Charlie Marte, and Cody Bellinger. Which outfield do you like the best here? Which outfielder do you like the best?
Teoscar Hernandez. He's one I don't trust. Because they're gonna move stuff around with him and what's the other guy, Grichuk.
Yeah.
So I don't know if Castellanos I love. Springer, George Springer is gonna be George Springer. But we talk about steals and getting on base. I'm going with Marte. I'm gonna go with Marte because I think he's gonna have fun in the NL East.
Well, the negative
at Citi Field.
The negative is he's playing with the Mets now, so bad things.
Listen, we're not going to go ahead and bashing. We're gonna let me have my moment. That we got a decent play. We got a decent player that's gonna play center field. He's gonna give us steals, hopefully. Yeah, right. He's gonna steal like 10 bases and piss me off. But
hey,
yeah, I'm gonna go with Mark.
Every year I sing the praises for the New York Mets, and every year they let me down. Every single year on this podcast.
Welcome to being a Met fan.
No, I don't like this. I don't like this at all.
Exactly.
I hate it. It sucks.
Listen, you did it with the Cubs. And all I gotta say is it took a long time to see it. And you finally saw it. I'm gonna have a belief that it's gonna be.
Listen, but there's a difference here. But there's a difference, man. This is personal. I take this personally. We're talking about my fantasy team, though. This is years of trusting Michael Conforto, Brandon Nimmo, Jacob deGrom,
that's what
Edwin
you were
Diaz.
See, that's where you were wrong. All right, Diaz, whatever. Conforto, he pissed me off last year. We're not gonna get to that. I have a lot of reservations.
He pissed me off last year.
Nimmo was doing his thing. See, Nimmo, you did it smart. He'll get you on base. He'll walk.
Yeah, but he only hit 8 home runs and stole 5 bases and 386 plate appearances. And I maybe I'm nitpicking here, but for this Brandon Nimmo's always gonna just mess with my mind because, like you mentioned, high on base, respectable. I mean, really good ops and all those other numbers. But where's the counting stats? Where are my counting stats? Damn it! I need more from him. Even in my points league, he's not a very consistent player. So
he always gets hurt too. That's another one that always gets hurt at the wrong time. He always gets hurt when he gets hot.
Yeah,
and it never fails. But yeah, I'll definitely go with Marte. I'm feeling Marte on this one.
Yeah, I kind of like him too for the stolen base factor. In a points league, it might be a little bit different, but I mean, Nick Castellanos, he'll go into these steep slumps that they're inexplicable. Yeah. Springer is getting to that point where he can't stay healthy, and he might be ducking certain games. Teoscar Hernandez comes with some baggage with the high strikeouts. You caught that. I heard. Okay, you caught that. And in Cody Bellinger, that's the big question mark. And I want to believe that there's a bounce back year in his future, but that's a really tough case to make.
Question, because you know these numbers better than I do. You and Sean. Has he had the worst like post MVP season? Like one of the worst? Because God damn, what the hell happened?
Wow.
I just watched a few games and I'm just what the what?
You caught me off guard there, but I wasn't expecting to answer. It's a good question. I don't know, but if he has to be up there. I mean, this was, $1.65 batting average. I mean, I know we don't take those numbers seriously here on the Total Basis podcast, but there's a lot of, there's a lot of, what do you call it? See, the way I use batting average nowadays, Jacob, is it doesn't clearly evaluate the player, right? It doesn't tell me who this player is, right? But
it would be nice to get to a certain number.
Over
the Mendoza line, you got to get your hands so
for sure, absolutely. But that's just a starting point. So if a guy's hitting 250, it's just the start of something much grander, right? It's not the end all be all, like how people get mad that people cite WAR all the time and all these other fancy new numbers. Well, people cite batting average like it's still 1932. Like it's a different era. Strikeouts are high, and we're hitting for more home runs now. And okay, so Bellinger's job was to hit home runs and hit for power. And what this $1.65 batting average is telling me is that there was a lot of holes to his game, a lot of holes to his swing. So it starts there. So it's the batting average should be a starting point that leads to other curiosities. So when a guy is hitting, like let's say if he had 250, right? So well, what's his contact rate? Is how is he swinging at pitches? Are his walks up? And then I think somebody mentioned, well, I at least want to see a 250 batting average. And I forgot who it was in the Baseball Life group. Well, I know batting average, you guys mock it, but should we at least be seeing a minimum of 250 batting average? Well, it depends, because I saw a list of the 250 batting averages of the leaderboard last year, and it just depends what you like. I mean, there's plenty of guys who are scrubs who hit for 250, and there's plenty of consistent hitters who also hit for 250. An example is Max Muncy. Are you really going to hold Max Muncy accountable for only hitting 250? Like Max Muncy had a monster year last year. You're gonna tell me that the 250 batting average is making you hesitant to believe in a Max Muncy? I don't think so, man. Come on.
Listen, Pete Alonso hit 262, and I'm taking that all day.
Along with the
his
power
numbers were there. Exactly. Oh, I forgot we said Castellanos, and Larry came out of nowhere.
No way.
Oh, yeah, he did too. That's swear. It's just like Genie. You just, Castellanos. Here comes Larry.
All right. So we know that Larry loves Castellanos. We know that Melvin does not like Dylan Cease. So, that's what I asked for. Give me players that you like and don't and dislike. So, well, since out of respect for Larry, let's go talk about Castellanos. I had him in my league last year, and he was doing pretty good. And then he kind of disappeared in September. At least, that's the anecdote that I'm going with. He is now a free agent. So Castellanos hit 309. He had a really good season as well. So maybe it's just me. Maybe my standards are too high, Jacob. But I could have sworn that I couldn't trust him last year anymore. But he had a really good season. 34 home runs, 100 RBI. What are you going to say there? I'm sorry.
No, he did. No, I'm agreeing. I'm agreeing with you.
Oh, okay. I thought I was interrupting you. I do apologize for that.
No.
There's a lot to like here. I guess we're kind of sleeping on him, but he's not going to get you stolen bases. So he's just a pure professional hitter. He keeps improving every season. There's a lot to like here. He is going to be entering his age 30 season, and it just depends where he goes in free agency. Is he going back to the Detroit Tigers? I know that he loved playing with the Chicago Cubs, but that was with Joe Madden on the team. So maybe he'll go to the Angels. I know that was the rumor for a long time, that the Angels were going to go after him. So yeah, but then that's yet another hefty contract that the Angels are going to give to an outfielder. So we'll see about that. I don't know how it's going to be different this time. But the one thing I'm very wary about Castellanos is that he is a hyper aggressive swinger, man. Very aggressive. So, but he makes it work. He makes enough contact. He makes enough good decisions at the plate to be productive. So maybe Castellanos is the safest pick here. But then Marte, even at this advanced age, he does bring that speed, that wow dynamic. So Castellanos and Marte were picked later in the sixth round, but I guess we can both agree that we like those two guys ahead of the ahead in this round than later in this round. I guess is what I'm trying to say.
100%.
Okay, so we talked about now here it gets really tricky with these starting pitchers, and I don't know, man. In the first 6, 8, 9 rounds, maybe before I get to hit the double digit rounds, I like a little bit more of a safety net with my starting pitchers. Yu Darvish, Trevor Bauer. I guess these are the moves that win you leagues, but if these guys don't live up to their past accomplishments, you are really shooting yourself in the foot here, I think, because there's just no way to make up for that. I don't think you can, not in the sixth round. I mean, the drafts are won in these rounds. Am I blowing this out? I mean, there's Justin Verlander as well. Am I blowing this out of proportion, Jacob, or is it one of those no guts, no glory kind of mentality here that maybe I'm lacking? I mean, how do you see these three starting pitchers going this early?
Oh, I think you're correct on that. Well, these are the kind of moves that can kill your season. Because the Trevor Bauer pick, we both saw him like, wait a minute. You don't even know what's going to happen with this guy.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't have touched him right now. I really wouldn't have. Who else? What else did they get? Where we at?
I'm so sorry. Justin Verlander. Justin Verlander is the guy. Yeah.
Verlander.
And Alec Manoah, if you want to include him as well.
No. I definitely wouldn't have went. That's like a dynasty pick kind of thing right there, because you don't know what the hell you're going to get out of him. And I still think the AL East is going to tear his ass up every which way but loose. But, I mean, just the kid he has an arm. I give him that. His arm is electric. Secondary pitches worries me a little. But yeah, this is a question mark all over this one, man. I can't. No, you have every right to be worried about it. Even with Verlander, the history is there. Still a solid pitcher, but coming off an injury, what do you want to get out of him? I don't know.
Yeah. Nathan Judah, we're looking at his team. I mean, I guess it's not as bad as I thought it might be at this point. But he got Max Scherzer, Kevin Gausman, Max Fried, and Trevor Bauer as his number 4 starting pitcher. So maybe it's not that bad of a deal. Maybe he'll want to roll the dice. We just mentioned some of the outfielders that were picked, and we'll take a look at one more time to see if we would have gone a different direction than Judah. But Judah is going for that jugular, man. And you're noticing that that's another team right here. Scott White was the first guy, and then so was the I forgot the other guy we were talking about. But Nathan Judah is another one of those who are like, hey, it's a fantasy points league head to head. I want my starting pitchers. I need to depend on my starting pitchers upcoming, because he only has Mookie Betts and Marcus Semien as his hitters, and that's it. So he is going to be depending on a lot of sleeper picks to fill out his infield and outfield. So let's go back to the 6th round, and let's talk about this really quick and move on to the 7th. But all right, so now that you know that Trevor Bauer is picked, let's just yes or no, I guess. Yes or no questions, lightning round style. Okay, Trevor Bauer or Nick Castellanos? Who would you go with?
Castellanos.
Teoscar Hernandez or Trevor Bauer?
Trevor Bauer.
Oh, okay. Starling Marte or Trevor Bauer?
Starling Marte.
Justin Verlander or Trevor Bauer?
Justin Verlander.
Okay. Alec Manoah or Trevor Bauer?
Trevor Bauer.
Francisco Lindor or Trevor Bauer?
Francisco Lindor. Come on, man.
Oh, okay. Liam Hendricks or Trevor Bauer?
Liam Hendricks.
Okay. Wander Franco or Trevor Bauer?
Wander Franco every day of the week.
Are you shocked that he went this late?
Yeah, and Franco, especially after the year he had, and the promise that kid showed.
Yeah,
dude is a damn man child. But I'm shocked. I really thought somebody's going to jump on a little bit earlier, but hey, better late than never.
Last guy, Cody Bellinger or Trevor Bauer?
Cody Bellinger.
So that's 6 guys you would take ahead of Trevor Bauer in this round.
Absolutely.
Oh, all right. Well, I mean, maybe Nathan Judah's onto something, but I think I agree with Jacob here. Says I think I would rather get some of those players that were mentioned than Trevor Bauer. But if Trevor Bauer comes through and it turns out that he's just gonna get a slap on the wrist for the things that he did, then this is a championship caliber draft pick that he just selected here. This might be the difference in this draft. So, all right, on to round 7. I wouldn't draft him personally though. I think he's in. I'll put him on my do not draft list. So I have confidence in myself that I can get someone else. But then again, I lost to Sean last year, so the fuck do I know, right?
Well, I mean, if you're gonna lose to anybody,
no man, I don't like to lose. Listen, Jacob.
Well, who does?
I took that personally.
Took that person.
Every single time I step into any league, I always believe that I'm the best guy in the league, even though results might show otherways. But
as you should, though. That's called confidence, man. That's what you need. Yeah. That's like you're playing a basketball game. You might not be the best one on the floor, but I'm gonna kick your ass. That's it.
I'm gonna kick your. I'm gonna hack you. I'm gonna poke your kidneys and fuck your ribs. I don't care, man.
I ain't Rodman.
Hey man, Rodman. I think I told you guys before. If it wasn't for Dennis Rodman, I probably wouldn't have the guts to play basketball with my friends or with my with strange kids that I've never met before. No, but that's my thing. Like I still can't shoot. I still have a horrible jump shot. I can't dribble to save my life. I could play defense a little bit, although not with my knees. No, I can't do it. I'm better with positioning. I guess I'm trying to say I'm better with positioning, and but rebounding, I can still rebound. Like you're not going to outwork me on the rebounds, and that was my thing. And that was back when I had some athleticism still as a 5'9" power forward, right?
There you go.
Dennis Rodman taught me that I can still get involved in the game if I just do the other things. Rebounding was one of them. Defense was the other one. And Dennis Rodman will always have a special place in my heart because of that, because he showed me the way that there's other ways to contribute to a basketball court. And I guess I mentioned my friends. They weren't my friends to begin with, but playing with them, I made a lot of friendships because of that. So I'm always grateful for Dennis Rodman as, role models. What's that? I don't believe in role models, Ernie. I am not one of them. But fine, you don't have to be a role model, but just you could lead by example. And I think Dennis did that. So I mean, the other stuff, I'm not gonna dress in a wedding dress or anything like that, or wear makeup or be naked on a cover. That's not me.
Yeah, that was kind of wild.
But on the court stuff, aside from the headbutts and the kicking of the groins, I'm all for that. Anyway, Trevor Story we talked about last week. Frankie this is the 7th round now. Yep. Frankie Montas, Trevor Rogers, Jose Abreu. See, I like this list a little bit better. So was that I don't like this Phillies pick though. What the hell? Was that Ramon Suarez for the Phillies? Ranger Suarez. Okay. Texas Ranger Suarez. Texas Power Ranger Suarez. Okay. No, I don't like that pick at all. I know saves are important. You got 10 points per saves, I'm assuming, but I don't like that. Eloy Jimenez, Joe Musgrove, who's one of my guys from last year, Tim Anderson, Ian Anderson. Damn, I was hoping for one more Anderson. Yeah, I think I've been doubting Ian Anderson. Like it's and its peculiarities. It's the little things that bother me about Ian Anderson, but I think we now have a nice things. I'm sorry, what was that?
No, he said it's the little things that bother me about Ian.
Well, I mean, if I'm gonna be critical of Dylan Cease for not showing enough control, I mean, I got to do the same thing for Ian Anderson. Ian Anderson has yet to have a minuscule walk per 9 that you're looking for from a really good starting pitcher. He's always been above 3.70, and then his strikeout per 9 went down last year. As I'm not gonna say I predicted it, but I thought there was gonna be some disappointment for people who drafted Ian Anderson, because it's just impossible to meet those lofty expectations, because he came in 2020 and surprised a lot of people and was the jab in the arm that the Braves needed. Well, his strikeout per 9 went down last year, and his home run rate his home run per 5 balls went way up, so he got exposed a little bit. So he's still a work in progress, but one thing is, he will go out there and compete, and that's all you can really ask for from a guy.
Absolutely.
From a pitcher. So the whip went up again as well. I hear audio.
Yeah, it's me.
Yeah, so I hope that was not our intent, was to copyright video on this podcast. But anyway, that's Ian Anderson. But yeah, that's a nice pick in the 7th round there. Carlos Correa, also JD Martinez, Clayton Kershaw. I don't know about Clayton Kershaw. I don't know if now that he's not going to be with the Dodgers. I don't think he's going to be with the Dodgers anymore. Is he a free agent? Did the Dodgers decide to bring him back?
I think they'll bring him back though.
Okay. Anybody? Let's go with what's the one player you didn't like in the seventh round?
I'm gonna go with Tim Anderson because he sucks. No, I'm just kidding. I like Tim Anderson. I'm gonna go with Rangers Suarez. I don't really like him too much.
Yeah, that's a slam dunk pick. All right, let's quickly move to the eighth round. We're at that point where we need to speed things up. So I want to get through all the picks, and not all the picks, all the rounds at least. So,
Yes.
eighth round, Blake Snell. So Dan Gilbert decides to go Clayton Kershaw and Blake Snell. Listen, I made fun of these guys for doing that, for trying to look for these veteran pitchers or veteran players overall and getting the bounce back years. So I'm just gonna keep my mouth shut because last year I re-listened to that episode from last year, and there's a lot of egg on my face because of it. So maybe I don't know. I'm gonna see it to you. I personally, I've never trusted Blake Snell.
I like Blake Snell.
There's something off about him though. But
okay, something about him.
You believe in Blake Snell, it sounds like.
I do.
Okay.
I definitely do. He has the stuff. He'll get you high strikeouts. He's a gamer on the mound, off the mound, but he's definitely exactly. But no, he's a good pitcher. Us in San Diego, let him get going, let him get on a roll. That was the biggest part about San Diego. Just they couldn't get it together. They're too talented not to get it together, and that's why I trust them so much.
Yeah.
But I think Blake Snell will be fine. I'll trust him more than Clayton Kershaw at this point.
What about Steven Matz, your former
Fuck
Mets?
him. Anyway, next subject. Oh, 2 good stars, 10 bad ones. Let's bring him back and give him a whole bunch of money. Yeah, have fun in St. Louis.
And watch it. Well, it's St. Louis.
He'll kill it. He'll piss everybody off. But
yeah, Steven Matz of all people.
Yeah, that's how he was. He was inconsistent as hell.
2022 Cy Young Award winner Steven Matz.
I'll throw up.
And again, it's personal with me because I've been.
It is personal.
I've been trusting Steven Matz again, former Mets player. I went heavy with the Mets players, and then he would just screw me every which way but loose. And then he gets to the Cardinals, and all of a sudden, now you got to go after him again because now he's the Cardinals, and they're gonna fix all his problems. Like, okay, guys.
Nah.
Anyway, let's go. Any player that you like on this eighth round?
Okay, we got my man Jazz Chisholm. That's my guy. JT Realmuto. How forget about him? He's one of the most productive catchers, and then if not the best catcher in the NL. He does everything. Another one. He'll hit you 25 home runs. He'll hit for a really good average being a catcher. I love JT. I should have freaking picked. I don't know what I was thinking, not jumping and getting him, but live and learn. You live and learn.
Yeah. And boy, listen to this podcast and you'll learn some more, man. I'm telling you. How do you get 30 wins in a fantasy baseball season? You listen to Felipe, man. Or listen to Felipe and any guests I might have on this podcast. I guess it's going to be awesome for a little bit longer. And so we'll go from there.
Sean coming back?
Sean said that he will let me know. So I'm waiting for him to let me know. And I'm just going to leave it at that. I mean, I like Sean, but he's going to let me know.
He's being Paul Blart. I'll let him be.
Oh my God.
Sean, I love you, bro. I had to do it.
Wow. Well, here's a guy. Well, since you mentioned Sean, here's a guy that Sean likes a lot is Shane McClanahan.
Yes. Yep.
I like him too. I don't know what the hell the Rays are going to do from one game to another, but right now, according to Roster Resource, he's the ace of that pitching staff. Whether it's by default or because they believe in him, that's another story for another time. But if that's going to be the case, and he's going to be given the ball every 5 days for sure, then give me all the Shane McClanahan that I can handle. So that's a nice pick by RJ White. Let's see, anybody else that kind of sticks out? Maybe Carlos Rodon. That's a guy I'm kind of worried about.
Yeah, he makes Chris Bryant. I'm a Chris Bryant guy, so of course I'll pick him. But
so we'll see where he goes. Yeah,
Zach Gallen. I mean, that 2020 he had, he was ace-like, man, and the injuries killed him. And plus, being on a really mediocre. Sorry, Corey, but they were just ass. I mean, you talk about dusty ass bitches, and that's the Arizona Diamondbacks. But just being on that team. But it's hard to keep a guy like him down. I think he'll have a bounce back year. I really like that pick.
So yeah, my points league, I had a tough choice between Zach Gallen and Blake Snell, and it turns out I would have really screwed myself with that pick no matter what. I went with Zach Gallen, and then a week or two later, I find out that he might
went
need
down. Yeah.
Tommy John surgery, and I don't think he got the surgery, but something to be considered. I mean, I guess in the 8th round, it's not too much of a concern for John Russell, but I don't know. 9th round. Oh boy, how the mighty have fallen. Former MVP Christian Yelich, former top 5 fantasy pick Christian Yelich, going in the 9th round to Micah Henry, who is getting 2 reclamation projects, Carlos Rodon and Christian Yelich back to back in this round, in this part of the draft. I am a firm believer that Christian Yelich is too damn good to be this bad.
Yeah, I agree.
So we'll see. He's been dealing with injuries left and right. And now you can't help but think like maybe those rumors about him cheating are true. Like there was video of him like kind of getting signals from teammates, and he knew that what pitches were coming. Hey, because everybody cheats in baseball is what we found out the last couple of years, right? No, it's just the Astros and Garrett Cole apparently. But anyway, but then you got Brian Reynolds going to Scott White. I mean, I think even if Christian Yelich was available to Scott White, I think he still would have picked Brian Reynolds here. I can't speak with him. But then you still got Randy Arozarena, Sandrice, and Jesse Winker. So some really good outfielders in this round to go after. But is Christian Yelich still the best among this group in your book?
Yeah, it's hard to go away from a former MVP just removed. Yeah,
even with Sandrice on the list here. Arozarena. You don't trust him?
I mean, he's good. Yeah, absolutely. Rookie of the year for a reason. Old, but rookie of the year. But no, I got to go with Christian Yelich, man. You got to go with the guy that's done it. The MVP guy. I'm going to go with him.
Okay. Bobby Witt.
Especially that late.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I'm just kind of wondering if that's the right move to make with the other outfielders that are available, because there's some really good outfielders on this list still.
Absolutely.
But I guess Christian Yelich might come with the highest upside still because he is a former MVP. Although in terms of upside alone, I think Sandrice, Arozarena might be the way to go. But we shall see how that turns out. Bobby Witt Jr. So we're under the assumption that he is going to be brought up by the Kansas City Royals. And they're not going to mess up. They're not going to mess around. They're just going to bring him up and just insert him at shortstop day one. Actually, third base, according to roster resource. So either way, you're good to go. So that might be a decent pick. The only problem is that he's a rookie and not established and might have some growing pains. I mean, think about Jared Kelenic and how he struggled when he was finally called up. But hey, if the Royals don't mess around and they bring him up right away, get those growing pains out of the way and just let him develop in the major leagues, because what else does he have to prove, right? Jonathan
India can't run away from the DNA.
Oh, for sure. Although Bobby Witt Sr. was a pitcher who had control issues for a long time. But Bobby Witt Jr., the shortstop, he has a lot of pedigree to his name. He was the first pick overall, drafted first round, second pick overall. My bad. Second pick overall. Okay, really quick, Jonathan. So we got both rookie of the years on this 9th round. So Jonathan India going there as well. So some guys, Casey Mize might be the one question mark, but Casey Mize also, like, he's a former first pick overall. And then Joey Votto. Do we still believe in Joey Votto?
Absolutely.
All right.
That's he still gets on base, still hits, man.
All right.
Until Joey Votto is dead, I'll trust him.
Well, Dan Gilbert is not messing around. Joey Votto and to finish the 9th round, and then Javier Baez to start the 10th round. So some big names going this late. What do you think about Javier Baez in the 10th round?
It's going to be interesting to see him going to Detroit and see what he can do there. But, it's late. Like I said, late rounds. If you get a guy like that, you scoop him up. But so I'm okay with it. I don't hate it.
Yeah, I know Austin doesn't like him, and I know Sean definitely doesn't like him. No. At least he didn't like him with the Mets. I like Javier Baez with the Tigers, though. There's something about it that I'm going to enjoy. I think the big ballpark might actually be beneficial to him. And what he lacks in home run power, he'll just make up for it in doubles. And he's a very exciting player on the base pads, so he might even stretch those into triples. And we just talked about in a points league, 2 points for doubles, 3 points for triples. It might add up in other ways. And maybe we'll see Javier Baez turn into the major league hitter we always thought he could be. Or he might strike out 300 times next year. Who knows? Any guy you want to talk about in this 10th round before we move on?
My guy, Brian Hayes.
Mm-hmm.
Love that kid. God, man. That kid's gonna he's special. I think he's gonna be special. He'll be traded in about 2 years though, but
Maybe next year too.
it's possible. But yeah, I love Brian Hayes, man. He just has it.
So I think I could have sworn that he did not have the monster year that he had before last year. I mean, it is the Pirates, but yeah, he kind of had a disappointing season last year. You're not concerned that that maybe you're expecting a bounce back year from him?
Yeah, he'll have a bounce back year. Yeah, good players, they know how to bounce back, and I think he's one of them.
So interesting development here in the 10th round. Justin Turner and Anthony Rendon, and then Brian Hayes, obviously. But let's talk about those two old heads right there, Turner and Rendon at third base. Who would you have preferred here?
Rendon.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, a little bit younger. Hurt.
Just a tad.
Yeah, just a tad younger. And plus, it's another guy that you say you can't keep good players down for long. He's another one. He got that contract for a reason. Yeah. He's going to produce. Mm-hmm. And yeah, Rendon's 22 bags, man. Come on.
And I know Turner's old, but he's proven to be a little bit more durable, just a tad more durable than Rendon. Even though he's entering his age 37 season, 37.
Oh, he's 37. Okay.
Yeah. And he's still producing. Justin Turner is, and he's basically doing what we thought Anthony Rendon would be doing with the Angels. Mm-hmm. So we got a couple of Los Angeles third basemen there. But we're still gonna go with Anthony Rendon, I guess, because I think he has to be due for a healthy year.
Absolutely.
Him and Mike Trout, and maybe Justin Upton. So we'll see for the Angels. Not a fan of this Kyle Schwarber pick, especially. Well, I guess at this point, maybe Schwarber and Meadows are pretty much the same player in terms of offensive production. But I don't know. We'll see what the 11th round shows. But let's go to it right now. 11th round outfielder. There's Jarred Kelenic. I think I would have preferred Jarred Kelenic. Although I think Jarred Kelenic is still in a platoon with the Mariners because they do have a plethora of outfielders they can go with. But Kelenic comes even close to that potential that has been following him for a lot of his young career. This might be a real nice surprise, and I think he might end up being better than Kyle Schwarber. But watch, Kyle Schwarber hits 35 home runs and drives in 100 RBI next year. So, I don't know what I'm talking about here. So, what's a name that kind of pops out here, whether good or bad, in this round?
Carlos Stanton. All right, listen, you get him late. I think it's a win. I mean, he still puts up. I've seen a lot of drafts. He goes late, and every time he does, he puts up monster numbers. Yeah, he gets hurt a lot, but he's like kind of that exception because he'll put up all his numbers before he gets hurt. And I don't know. I always believe in him. Give me my 35 and 100.
Wait, what about Kyle Schwarber? What if he gets 35 and 100?
I mean, then you're good too. But you're gonna take Stanton as well. You can take both. But yeah, I like Stanton, and I like Chapman. Oh hell no. Michael Kopech. I really think he's about to take that jump.
We'll see.
I believe that's one kid. I call him Mini Thor because that's who he reminds me of so much. Because when he puts it together, it's going to be ridiculous.
A couple of shout outs I want to hand out here. Leon is tuning in, and my guy, Coach Phil from Northwest Illinois, is also tuning in for a little bit. Good morning, guys. Hope you're enjoying your Sundays. Merry Christmas, Merry early Christmas. Happy holidays. Brandon Crawford for me, I don't know. If you're going to wait this late for a shortstop, I feel like you might as well just go young. But maybe Nick Mimikos wanted to get Bobby Witt here, and he missed out, and now he's
just missed. Yeah.
Need of a shortstop. And I think Crawford, what he did last year was an anomaly, and I think it's all downhill from here. But we've been kind of doubting. We've been doubting Brandon Crawford for years now, and he continues to produce. So maybe I don't know what the hell I'm doing here, but I don't know. He's going to be 35 next year. Eventually, it's not. I mean, 24 home runs at this late in his career. Come on, in San Francisco, come on,
man. Hey.
Not a
San
fan.
Francisco, they get the most out of their players. I'll say that, man. And that just goes along with that team, though, because who really expected that last year?
Yeah.
I mean, and then just everyone clicked.
And then Wilson Contreras, another catcher picked in this round. So not too shabby.
No,
I guess Kopech, I know you like him, but I'd be very concerned about Kopech just because he's never done it before. This is going to be the first time he'll be in the rotation. He's already in his mid-20s, so a lot of his early 20s that he should have been developing, he spent on the injury lists, and he also missed out on the 2020 season because of personal reasons. So yeah, but like you mentioned, we talked about the stuff. I mean, it translated to bullpen work, so hopefully it'll translate in being the fifth man on that rotation for the White Sox. What was I talking about? Oh, so I want to see if any other shortstops go after Brandon Crawford in the 12th round. There's Jay Cronenworth. He qualifies at shortstop, so he might have been a better option. Both of them.
Tommy Edman, I love him.
Maybe a better option than Crawford. Another shortstop anywhere. Willie Adames. He showed that he loves hitting in Milwaukee.
Oh yeah.
Waka. And so yeah, maybe those are three guys I would have selected over Brandon Crawford there. So maybe Mimico's just kind of panicked. I don't know. So who did Mimico's picking this? So he turns around in this round and gets Zach Greinke. No, sorry, Nick, man. I don't know who the hell you are, but I'm not a fan of your 11th and 12th round picks here. What about Nathan Judah going with Syndergaard?
Low risk, high reward, I guess.
And you saw that he's going to be wearing Nick Eddinghart's old jersey number, so good for him. Very classy move.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I like it. Yeah, the Angel fans are going to love him.
Yeah, I mean, I always loved him. Even as a Cubs fan, I always liked him. I put my trust in him, but that was my mistake, putting my trust in a Mets player. Well, we'll never learn my lesson. They got a couple Yankees going here. DJ LeMahieu, Joey Gallo. I like LeMahieu.
Oh yeah.
I am starting to, yeah, for sure. I mean, that's the epitome. I mean, Ben Zobrist's retired, and DJ LeMahieu says, "I'll be that guy next. I'll be the next man up." Joey Gallo, I'm starting to sour on him. I mean, he has the talent, he has the ability, he has the power. Maybe it's a steal here in this late in the draft. Maybe there's a bounce back, but man, so far it just sounds like he's just succumbing to the shifts, and he's not adjusting the way he should be. So Adley Rutschman, that's an interesting pick as a catcher. We talked about the catching, and there's your guy Dalton Varsho as well, listed as a center fielder, but he should have catching eligibility. So
what about Joey Bart? I'm surprised. I wonder if we're going to see him on this list.
Well, let's find out.
That's the guy, man.
That's been the guy. So let's find out. 13th round. We had a few more rounds to go. How are we doing on time? Oh, snappy. All right, let's speed this up. 13th round. I guess the guy that sticks out, Luis Severino, for sure. Anybody sticks out to you on this round, 13th round?
I like strumming you. Okay. I like Sonny Gray.
Okay, Sonny Gray for the Reds. That's a solid pick. Guys that I don't like on this list. I guess Chris Taylor, just because I don't know what the Dodgers are doing. Although it sounds like they're gonna give him all the plate appearances he can handle because they're kind of shorthanded this upcoming season. And give me a player you don't like on this list if you have one.
I don't. If I have one.
Okay. Well, that's okay. We'll just move on to the 14th round.
Who the hell is Clace? I don't know who he is. So.
Oh, Emmanuel Clase, the guy with the 100 mile. He was on my team the whole year. That's why you don't know about him, because I wasn't gonna let him go. Listen here, Jacob. 100-mile-per-hour fastball, and he mixes that in with a 100-mile-per-hour cutter.
Good Lord!
And he's probably gonna be closing for the Cleveland Guardians from now on. So
really, no Karinchak?
Nah, Karinchak was too wild, and we're finding out that he might have been doing something that he shouldn't be doing. So
oh man, all right,
yeah, okay. Man, that's right. All right, give me a play you don't like. It's getting late. 14th round. Give me a play that you like in the 14th round here.
My man Ryan Mountcastle.
Oh boy, okay.
Can't go wrong. It's like a creative player fucking name. I thought it was fake when I first saw. What the hell?
It's a video game name.
What the? Who else? Torkelson. Okay. I mean, is he coming up?
We'll see. I mean, it sounds like he is.
I mean, Rizzo, okay, Ryan, Savale. I don't like him, man. I had him. He's just so inconsistent. He had like 2 good games. Yes, he's finally putting it together, and then all of a sudden, oh yeah, this guy gotta go. I just Savale, no, cut
And
it out.
Joe Ryan, that's a guy we talked about late in the year last year. He kind of showed up and he posted some decent numbers. So that's a guy you want to keep an eye on. But I'll definitely take him over Aaron Savali and even Tristan
Oh
McKenzie
yeah,
for sure. Something's off about Tristan
16.
McKenzie. I want to like McKenzie. I can't make heads or tails, but Joe
He needs to
Ryan's,
eat.
I'm sorry, he needs to, yeah, for sure. He needs to eat, get to the buffet, get to the post-game buffet.
Something.
Some good young pitchers. Logan Gilbert's on this list.
I like him.
So yeah, so you can still get some good, nice, decent young pitching depth late in this round. Maybe even Tristan McKenzie if you want to believe in this stuff. But man, there's just something off about him. I guess I can't quite put my finger on it. 15th round, Alex Kirilloff, Quantrill, a couple of young guys there. Well, at least unproven guys. Let's see. Let's go with guys you don't. Give me a guy you don't like in this round.
I don't like Trent Grisham.
Ooh.
He just really, I don't know. It's just something about him that I just don't like. It's like he's another, I feel he's inconsistent. Maybe I could be wrong, just what I've been seeing. It's like he looks good at one part, and then the next part, you're like, why are you even here? But I don't like him. I don't like him.
Yeah,
what it is about it, I don't like him.
Sean's a big fan. Sean loves him some Trent Grisham. But
listen, we always argue about everything. I hated Lucas Duda. He loved him. We never could connect on some things.
Well, he was supposed to be a breakout last year, and as you can see, he's once again going late in the draft as a flyer. Not necessarily a flyer, but yeah, some guy. Hey, if things break out properly for him, he might. But once again, he was a borderline 10-10, 15-15 guy. If that's 15 home runs, 15 stolen bases, he finished with 13 stolen bases instead. Finished with similar batting average and everything. The ops was down last year for some whatever reason. Maybe I can't make heads or tails about him, but yeah, I had him on my teams as well, hoping that there was a breakout. And now I don't know if I want to.
He's irritating.
Yeah, but he's still young, so we'll see.
Yeah, true.
I guess Cal Quantrill for me. It's just a guy I don't understand. I mean, there's the DNA involved, but he doesn't strike out enough guys. But that seems to be like a Cleveland thing. They'll just get whatever pitcher that doesn't strike out a lot of guys and turn them into, at least get me 4 or 5 innings, so you'll be fine. But yeah, Quantrill, I wish if he could show me that he could strike out more guys than he has shown so far. Well, he wouldn't be drafted this late in the first place, but
that's very true.
I guess that's no, I'll take it back. Maybe Desclafani is another guy I don't trust, even with the Giants. Although maybe with the Giants he'll be better, but I don't know. He had a chance to prove himself last year with the Giants, and I feel like he didn't take full advantage, like a Kevin Gossman did, like I kept telling you guys about.
Yeah.
Andrew Vaughn, maybe he'll take a step forward, but man, it's like he's supposed to be so good, and
yeah,
I nothing impressed me about him. I mean, there was some spurts where he
started out hot, right? Didn't he?
Yeah, and took advantage of the playing time because he was getting all the playing time that he can handle because Eloy Jimenez went down, and so did Luis Robert. Anyway, and then I do like Kyber Reese.
Yeah, I was just about to say that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So keep an eye on him, especially in the 15th round. Oh yeah.
That's a perfect place for him.
That might be a massive steal. 16th round. Give me a guy you like on this list.
Alberto Mondesi.
Ooh.
I think. I mean, that kid has so much potential, and his speed. Like, you get excited about it. You're like, damn, this kid fucking move.
Yeah.
He gets some base things healthy. He's going to be a problem.
And really quick, give me a guy you like on this list.
Let's see. That I really like.
Oh, sorry.
Although I don't like.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Don't like.
Oh, okay. Pablo. Oh wait, that Pablo Sandoval? No, okay, no. Okay, I'm losing my mind. I saw that. I'm like, oh hell no.
Yeah, no,
I'm gonna go.
Don't worry. I did the same thing.
I'm gonna say Tanner Houck.
Ooh.
I'm not sold on him yet.
All right.
Because
we like him here, but I know it's a tough question to ask this late in the round. Yeah, so I guess in this late in the round, we'll just go with the guys we like because it's like, who cares? It's the double digits. We're getting close to the end. 17th round. Give me a guy you like here in the 17th round.
My man Juan Moncada. That's my guy.
All right. You still believe in him?
Absolutely.
By the way, it's Patrick Sandoval, the Los Angeles Angels
okay.
left-handed pitcher.
That's what What the hell?
But I did the same thing. My guy that I like in this batch of players, whew, I guess, boy, oh boy. I guess I'll go with Ryan McMahon just because he plays in Coors Field, and it sounds like he's going to get all the playing time he can handle now that that they had to get rid of all the guys that they had to get rid of. So hopefully he'll take advantage and continue to hit 30 home runs. So,
yes, sir.
18th round. Give me a guy you like.
Guy that I like Jordan Montgomery. Well, no matter of fact, no, I like Dylan Carlson. I just saw that. Now. I love Dylan Carlson.
It's a good pick.
He's good. I give you a guy I can't stand Carlos Carrasco. Get him the hell off that list. You not seeing him pitch last year?
Yeah.
All right, get him out of here.
Well, maybe this will be the year he'll be fully healthy from cancer treatment and he'll stay healthy. But yeah, I feel like we've been waiting on Carlos Carrasco for a decade now.
There's Sean's boy, Chris Flexen.
Yeah. Oh, I know. Sean loves those command guys, man. He loves those. Oh, the guy with the nice changeup. I love that guy a lot. Yeah. Okay. I know, Sean. I know. My guy, I'm gonna go with. Let's go with Luis Patino, just for the upside aspect.
Okay.
Luis Patino, highly touted prospect, and it looks like he'll be in the rotation. So. Hopefully the Rays don't mess around too much.
No, he went in a Snell deal, right?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Did he go in a Snell deal?
Yeah, he's part of that Blake Snell deal, I believe. Yeah,
gotcha.
Sounds about right. So he was with the Padres for a while. We're almost there, 19th round. Once again, give me a player you like from this list of 12.
Swanson. I'm gonna go with Gene Segura. He seems to always just be in a throw in everybody's side, especially the Mets. And playing in the NL East, he kills everybody in it. So I'm gonna go with Gene Segura.
Yeah, I definitely not going with Gene Segura here. That's a guy I've not liked in the last couple of years, but out of curiosity, I don't even pay attention to what he does. But he'll be 32 next year. Let's see what he did last year. I honestly don't know.
He was solid, man.
Yeah, 14 home runs, kept his strikeouts in check, on base and batting average is way up. So yeah, the stolen bases are down, unfortunately for him. That was the one thing that he was supposed to be good at. And that was, but yeah, 14 home runs from a middle infielder this late. That's a solid pick. And now that you made me look at it, so I would have gone with Gleyber Torres over Gene Segura, but
it's another good one.
Yeah, and
that's
hopefully
that's good value. That's really good value. Somebody being this late.
Yeah, I mean, he went from being a top first 3-round pick, Gleyber Torres did, to what round are we in? 19th. That's very late for him. So good for him. I bragged about Brandon Rogers in the previous episode, so I'm going to brag about him, Brandon Rogers. I know he doesn't steal bases, but I think playing in Coors Field, same thing. Ryan McMahon, and you're getting these Rockies players at a nice, good value price. Because before you had to really reach for these Rockies players because of the offensive surroundings that they have in Coors Field. I am shocked to see these guys, the Ryan McMahons and the Brendan Rodgers, go very super late here. So lots of people are not believing in these Rockies players. We're almost done, 20th round. Once again, I need a player that you like from this list.
All right, I'm gonna go with Anita. I got a player I hate, but I'm gonna go with Yanoa from Atlanta. I'm gonna go. You know what? I'm gonna go. He looked so good before he was an idiot and punched the wall. Like, dude. But he's one of the rising stars in that freaking the Braves farm and system. Excuse me. And he's there. He's gonna be a starter next year, and he's just solid on the mound. I think that kid is gonna be really good.
Well, that was my guy, but you stole my thunder. All right, so you say you got a guy that you don't like. Who's the guy you don't like here?
Mike Zunino. God, that's just my freaking. I had him so many times. Maybe he'll hit over 240 and give me some kind of hell no. That dude, he just pisses me off. I don't like him.
We talked about him last week. I don't know if you caught that. That's my bust for catcher, but I guess this late in the draft, maybe it's not so bad.
I would pick Bart. I still didn't see him.
Yeah, I haven't seen him either. So maybe you go that route. But
if I had to pick catcher, I would go Bart.
So you know who also would go Bart? Marge Simpson. That's her baby boy. All right.
I still don't think he's the catcher of the future, though. I think that's Patrick Bailey's job there. take
Ooh,
soon as he's ready.
ooh, all right. I guess I'll go with Josiah Gray just because of the
I like
pedigree.
that. I
Yeah,
like it.
yeah. I mean, it's kind of slim pickings at this point in terms of
Hmm.
the players that I really like. I think these guys did a good job of snatching up the players that I liked in this
Hmm.
draft. And you already took Husker Yanoa from me. So how did Josiah Gray do with the Nationals last year? I'm looking it up right now. So with the
It was a
Nationals,
mixed bag.
12 starts, 9 strikeout per 9 innings. So that's more than I expected. The walks were
Hmm.
way up there. So he has some work to do. The home runs were way, way up there.
Hmm.
But the fastball velocity, right? I mean, it lived up to expectations.
Hmm.
So can't really fault him too hard there. And he really didn't get hit hard. It's just anytime he gave up a fly ball, it just landed in the seats. And he had a very, very high fly ball rate of 53%. So he's a fly ball pitcher. So usually fly ball pitchers are they're very underrated because if a ball goes in the air, that's an automatic out.
Hmm.
Unfortunately, if it keeps going up in the air and it just keeps going for larger distances, then it's a home run. So that's unfortunate for
Hmm.
him. What was his BABIP? 250. So yeah, that's what happens with fly ball pitches is that it doesn't that the batting average on balls in play doesn't really account for that. But last thing I wanted to look at here was the plate discipline. And yeah, I mean and for a young guy, he doesn't do a lot of swings, but it seems like as soon as he got exposed with the Nationals with all the
Hmm.
as more game film was available of him, the people and more data was available of him. I think major league hitters were able to figure him out. But I mean, he's
Hmm.
still a very high regarded prospect from the Los Angeles Dodgers, no less. So hopefully, 2022 will be things where he will be the season where he figures things out. All right, last round. I'm just gonna tell you, Tyler Stevens is my guy. I cannot
Yeah.
believe that he's going this late, though. If you get Tyler Stevenson this late in the draft, that's a slam dunk. So that's an easy one. I'm not gonna give you that one. Give
Easy.
me one that we probably haven't talked about yet.
I'm gonna go with. I would have said Julio Rodriguez, but I think that's more of a stash because I don't know if he's coming up this year.
Yeah, I mean he
He
has
might,
to. He has to at this point. But
but I mean, yeah, that's tough. I'm gonna go with Julio Rodriguez if he does come up. Since the rumblings are kind of showing that he will be up this year.
yeah,
But Garrett Hampson is like my second one.
okay.
That dude, there's something about him that I think he'll be really good this year.
Mm-hmm.
But and if he stays healthy, he plays 162.
Yeah.
I think he'll be fine. That dude's a blow around the bases too.
So another Rockies player, yet another
Yep,
Rockies
see,
player. So holy crap! So
we're tapping the Rockies.
at the Rockies. Course
Coors Light.
Light. I like Rockies players that go this late in the draft. Yeah, this is amazing that I'm not used to seeing this kind of value from Rockies players. Like I said, you usually have to pay a high hefty premium just to get those guys. My guy, there's a lot of good names here,
Oh
but
yeah,
let's go with I guess Alec Baum is too good to be this bad.
yeah. It's. I thought he was gonna like kill it. I really thought he was, but he definitely had a setback. But
Yeah.
he's too good to be that bad for this long and that long. So I think he'll have a bounce back year.
Yeah, hopefully for his
Not
sake.
against the Mets.
Well, hopefully for his sake, he does
Mhm.
step up and take that step forward. You look at his prospect report, and it's like, man, how did he struggle this mightily? I mean,
Mhm.
but at any rate, that is we did go, as always, we did go over, but as I always tell people, hopefully we provided you with enough information. There was a lot of players to go through, even though this was only a 21 round draft. But hopefully you are able to, you saw the names and you kind of follow along with the method to our madness as to why we went the way we went with in terms of the players that we liked and did not like from this draft. But yeah, it's you know what it is, Jacob. It's also a good precursor to the actual draft, just seeing what the experts are
Yes.
doing with these so-called experts. They're experts. They do this on a regular basis. And
That's
getting yourself ready for your own mock draft or for your own
Mhm.
rankings or for your own list and say, well, geez, man, if Scott White is drafting Scott Barlow this late, I mean, maybe there's something to. This is the first name I'm seeing, by the way.
Mhm.
Maybe I should rank Scott Barlow a little bit higher. Maybe the
Mhm.
Royals are not going to go by bullpen by committee. like they've done in the past. Maybe it's time to believe in Scott Barlow and
Possibility.
yeah, there's a possibility. Or Nick Mimico's going with Yadier Molina. I'm like, again, I still have my screen open on the other side. Yeah, Yadier Molina. When Tyler Stevenson was right there, I guess not everybody believes in Tyler Stevenson, not even the experts.
I
like
do.
the way I believe, like you and I believe in Tyler Stevenson. So yeah. So when you see that, like, I will disagree with the experts, and Tyler Stevenson is gonna go shut up on my catching list. And again, we talked about those catchers on the previous episode. Jacob, tell the folks where they can find you.
Same thing, catch us on Mondays. Myself and Leon Tompkins, we're going to be bringing the smoke on Monday. Talk about, on the step back, talk about COVID protocols, burning sage. I think we need a sage tree to get all this bad luck out of here. But you can catch us on Monday. We try to discuss everything that we can with this NBA season dwindling, looking like it's going to go back to the bubble.
I mean, this is frustrating. I hope they don't cancel the season like they did that one year where it ruined our fantasy basketball league. I mean, I don't know.
Gosh.
That would just.
I hope not.
But the Nuggets and Nets game has been postponed. The Cavs and Hawks game has been postponed.
Just saw that.
This looks like Frank Vogel and Trey Young are on the COVID list now. And that's just the games that I'm seeing on my phone. I don't know if
probably more.
There's probably
especially
more.
As a Bulls fan and other Bulls fan, like Bulls are having like a great year. You finally get it correct, and then this happens.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it sucks. I mean, it sucks for everybody, and not just for the Bulls, but everybody. But again, I take this personal. I just need Lonzo Ball to ball out tonight. If there is a game, I don't know. I know the first 2 games this week were canceled, but I was hoping that the Sunday night game or the Sunday game, I don't know what time they're playing, if they are playing, but I was really hoping that the Sunday game would still take place. Right now, I'm losing to Andrew's team, and I might be the victim of his first victory.
Oh,
but yeah, I already benched Luka because he's hurt, and I might have to bench him again next week. And I already benched. I got Bam Adebayo, who's already hurt to begin with, so I didn't want to bench Lonzo Ball because I'm gonna need those 35 points from him. Maybe hopefully 40 points. Like I'm just gonna need super game from him just to catch up with Andrew, who is having a pretty good week this week. He's. Of course, he has a good week against me when I'm down, and so this is the one time where so for Andrew, for him to win any game this year, like he has to win ugly, like low scoring game, and I felt that I could beat him in a low scoring game because my team is stacked.
Yeah,
and of course the game where I wanted him to have a low scoring game, he actually goes over 300 points. So
he did.
So we'll see.
Gotcha.
Yeah. How's your league? How's your team doing?
They're falling, man. There's injuries that did not happen. John Morant going down. Jaylen Brown never plays a full week. I'm trying to just mix and match where I can. Patty Mills is starting to come on, so I might have to drop him in my lineup. Well, I don't know now since Kyrie's going to be part-time, like freaking Goldberg.
Yeah.
So you don't know what the hell you're going to get out of him. It's a mixed bag with my team. But, that's how you got to go through that. You play to win the game, and you got to make the good moves.
Yeah,
and try to keep your team in it.
Well, it's a long season. You're gonna face your division one more time, and you're gonna have to prove yourself against those guys as well. So we shall see. But anyway, I gotta get going because the wife's gonna kill me. For Jacob, I am Felipe. Listen to the Total Basis podcast and all our podcasts when you subscribe to our show on Stitcher, Apple, Spotify, Google. I mentioned Apple already. We also have YouTube. So if you want to look at the visuals that we shared on today's show, go to our YouTube page. I am Felipe. That is Jacob of the Step Back Podcast. Thank you for joining me. Thanks for everybody who listened today. And we'll talk to you soon. Take care, everybody.
Yes, sir.